What's going on? How you doing? Can you hear me okay or no?
There we are. Yep.
What's up?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. How you doing?
Doing good, boss. How are you?
Awesome, man. Amazing. Thanks. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah. The face and everything. The computer's actually working.
Yep. So how's you said you're in Austin, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Born
How
and
about
raised?
yourself? No. I was actually I was born about an hour southeast of Dallas. And then kind of been all over and then just kind of wound up here in Austin.
Cool. College out there?
I went to college at Texas Tech. I don't know if that's
Texas Tech, nice. My brother just moved out to Austin a couple of years back. He was
no kidding.
Yeah. Exactly where in Austin, I'm not sure, but he works in a hospital somewhere out there. So
Okay.
he's yeah.
Does he like it out here?
He loves it. Loves it a lot. Yeah, he chose it. Used to be a Seattle person. That's where, we spent some of our years. And then he was moving around a few places. I think his wife is from Washington State. So they were living out there and kind of out in the forestry area. And it was beautiful. But they were like, okay, we got to get out of this. We got to, go south. So,
Sure.
yeah. That's
Like
what they did.
that. I mean, that's kind of why I ended up in Texas. I mean, as you can see, I'm wearing a long sleeve in the middle of Texas here. I don't endure the cold. I'm not a fan of it.
Got it. Over there, how's the temperature right now? Is it cold? It's always humid out there.
No, it's like 80. It's like 80 something degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really
Nice. Good stuff. So appreciate you coming on the call again today. I know yesterday we had a little discussion, kind of talking about some accounting and different business aspects and everything. And I'd love to, you spoke briefly about, what you're doing. And this is being recorded, by the way. It's not live. It's being recorded.
Okay.
So that way, put it up later.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like you just had a couple questions about how I moved through real estate.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
right?
exactly. Curious about that. You mentioned it a little bit and sounded interesting. If you want to just walk through maybe a transaction or something or what you do, and then if I have questions that come up, I might jump in or something.
Absolutely. Sounds perfect. So what we're actually labeled as is a dispo company, right? Basically you're start to finish, when we were talking about wholesaling, you have your wholesaler, somebody like We Buy Homes US or National Home Buyers or something like that. What they deal directly with is distressed buyers. So all day they're making 100 to 150 phone calls of people that are going through foreclosure, deaths in the family, divorces, stuff like that. So they're really good at breaking through all those really aggressive conversations, right? Because when you call somebody that's going through a foreclosure and you're like, hey, have you thought about selling your home? The first thing you're going to get is
not pleasant.
Get off my phone, right? So they have enough headache to deal with. The other side of wholesaling is getting rid of that deal. And that is the most important part, right? Because if you're going to say to somebody, hey, I'm going to wrap up your house for $230,000 and I'm going to get you cash in 30 days. But when you sign that dotted line, you've either got to have a contingency in there that's going to allow you to bail out. You've got to sell that house in 30 days. And if you're going to go through all the work, you want to sell that house in 30 days.
Right.
So that's where I come in. The relationships that we've built over our time in the real estate industry is we've found buyers that want to buy from us on a consistent basis if the deal is right. So that's exactly what I do. You take care of that part, I'll take care of this part, and we'll shake hands and we'll meet in the middle.
Very cool. So wholesalers will go out there and they'll wrap up lots of properties, as many as they can that they feel are good deals. And then you have the relationships with the wholesalers as well as with the potential buyers, investors, different people that would be interested in it. And then you kind of make that a match.
Exactly, right. And the people that are buying properties to invest in these properties, flip them and everything like that. So they don't want to do the tedious work of going and finding the good deal, right? So I get on the phone with them. Hey, what are you looking for? What percent ARV are you looking for? How many do you want to buy a month? Right? I get those stats. I go back to a wholesaler in Dallas and I say, hey, this is what I need. I need it by Friday. Can you provide?
So the client basically sets the terms for the most part. They'll say what they're looking for, and then you'll reach out to the wholesaler. The wholesaler will reach, they'll be talking with different distressed buyers, and so then they can kind of use that as a guide to what they're offering.
Exactly, yeah. So they kind of work forwards, and I work backwards to kind of help them meet in the middle, so that we don't get caught up too, right? Because I don't want to go to a wholesaler, because there's a couple ways that you can wrap it up in my industry. When there's an A to B contract, when there's a contract in place, you can actually assign that contract to somebody, right? So that means that contract can actually pass through 4 or 5 hands before it gets to the end buyer. Now, you don't want that, because if that happens, let's say that each person puts a $5,000 commission on their deal. Well, if it's passed through 5 hands, there's $25,000 that somebody's got to pay for.
Got it.
So you never want to do that to your buyer. So when I'm getting a deal from my buyer, I don't want to get it from somebody like the Western or Keegley, because they do the exact same thing that I do, which makes that a daisy chain deal, right? And real estate's one of those things that everyone can get a piece of the pie. So you're going to see a lot of people taking a piece of your pie. So you got to kind of weed it out and even it out like that. So it's a lot easier to go meet your buyer, find out what they want, and then go to wholesalers and be like, hey, I need this property by this time. It looks just like this. Make it happen.
Nice.
And then there's other ways you can do it too. Facebook is a godsend. It's the #1 platform in the world. So you can actually go through Facebook groups, and there's wholesalers that are actually posting deals that they need sold. If they're posting it on Facebook, it's usually because they do not have a buyer.
Right. Looking for it.
So you can just drop your email there. They'll send you the deal and the details, and you can actually just market it from there, or you can call them directly and be like, hey, I do have somebody that I know is going to buy this. Can you send me the contract with a 3-day contingency? What that does is gives you 3 days without actually having to put earnest money on that property for you to market it for 3 days, right? So it actually gives you.
Yeah, so I just wrote that one more time. So basically, let's say you find a property on Facebook and you want to market without putting the earnest money down. How does that work? What does it exactly does it mean to market? It means you're marketing it as you want it.
Yeah, as if I own the asset. Okay. And that's exactly what that is, right? So when you have a contract, and this really only works with a contract, and a lot of wholesalers are kind of moving away from it and going to the double close, but they're finding out that doesn't work as well.
What do you mean? Those are double close?
But
yeah.
So a double close, is that what you asked?
Yes. Yeah. Is that when it's like with the intermediaries, or what is the double? Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Double close is when the wholesaler closes a deal with the seller, and then we turn around and close again on that same deal from that to the buyer. Got it. Even on a very, very small real estate deal, you're still looking at 10 grand in closing costs per close, right? So I mean that's 20 grand.
In commissions, you're saying?
No, and that's just in closing costs.
Oh, closing costs. Got it.
That's just in closing costs. Fees with everything like that. We don't even deal with a realtor, because realtors take a big chunk of your money.
Right. You do their job basically.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I mean that's why we work with contracts, because I don't actually have to do that. I don't have to have a real estate license to pass a contract on.
Nice.
I just don't. But yeah, so in that instance, the double close is you're making two closes on the same property, which is a lot of money that just goes up in the air, and you don't want that. But with the contract, you can actually get a contingency, which basically the wholesaler will assign you that contract with a 3-day contingency plan, so that you can walk the property with your contractor.
So you're basically like the owner.
Yeah, right. So you sign that dotted line, and you own that property and that asset for 3 days. And you can market it to whomever.
So meaning that so you have 3 days. If your buyer is ready, you can sign it over to the buyer and only have a single close.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With double closes, the best way to do that and to avoid a lot of closing costs is just a JV agreement. Yeah, you'll just, so if you know you have an interested buyer, then you'll just reach out to that wholesaler and be like, hey, I do know somebody that's going to be interested in this. I'm going to go ahead and bring them to the table. Let's sign a JV agreement because I'm already going to ask. I'm already pitching to him for $3,000 above your asking price. So I'm not even cutting into your profit. All I'm asking for is my $3,000 and you take yours.
Sounds like you've got a lot of experience in this area.
You either learn quick or you sink quick.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I wouldn't say that I have a lot of experience. I have very little experience, but if you there's so much information out there to be had.
Right.
And in today's age, podcasts are like
information.
It's the best kind of information, and it comes to you in such a healthy manner where you can still be productive in your job and still be listening to some coaching and some education. Podcast, Amazon, all that stuff.
What are some of your favorite podcasts? I mean, do you listen to podcasts related to this this industry, this wholesaling, or this? I mean, what is this industry called? I mean, is you like your particular niche?
So this is where almost all of your real estate professionals are going to suggest that you start in real estate, and it's somewhere in the trenches with wholesaling, right? Because this is where you find out all the hard parts of the party, right? This is where it gets dirty, right? The phone calls that you have to make, the conversations that you have to have with people, right? And sometimes, like with wholesaling, I've done wholesaling, and when you call somebody and ask them about their house and it's tied to a death in the family, that's a conversation that nobody wants to have, right? And then at the end of that conversation, you still have to be like, hey, I know you said your house is worth 130 grand, but I can only give you 60. Right? I have that conversation 10 times a day. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, like, if you can start here in wholesaling and then get better and better, like learn this and then grow, your results will be incredible because it gets easier. Like the deal and the money gets bigger and your problems get bigger, but it's easier to handle.
So you started with wholesaling, basically the whole aspect of the wholesaling, and then you kind of saw that there was a niche, that there was a need for finding the buyers. So you kind of migrated over there and retained the relationships or created more relationships with the wholesalers. So where do you right now find your buyers? Who is your ideal buyer? Are they investors? Are they first-time home buyers? And you find them, you mentioned social media, Facebook. No more yellow pages anymore. Just word of mouth.
All of the above. Connected Investors is great. Bigger Pockets is great as well. Those are social media platforms.
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook mainly. It's you can put out a simple post saying that I have a 3-bed 2-bath in 76728, right? And you'll get 30, 40 emails just off of that. People that want to buy houses, and that's what's great about it. You learn how to wholesale, you learn how to sell the deal, and while you're doing all that, you're making the contacts that will eventually turn you into a flipper, a buy and holder. You create all these contacts little by little, and it just that's what helps you climb. Like a lot of people, the worst mistake that you can make is coming out here and try to be HGTV, flip your house. That's a mistake.
Why?
Because your first flip will take 8 months minimum. You just don't know.
Right.
You don't
know connections. Right.
I mean, for instance, Texas is a great place to be. In Dallas, Texas, like the real estate market, it's insane. But the house could still be built in 1970 and still have small foundation damages. Right. It's just because of that's where the world's at. Almost anytime you put up a house, there's probably going to be some small foundation issues that you're going to have to deal with. Well, if you're new to this, you don't know how to deal with that, and you don't have the contacts to get that job done for $2,000. You're going to end up paying $15,000 for it. Right. You know what I mean? And it's little things. It's just little things like that.
You're learning a lot.
There's some houses you don't want to buy anymore because they have horrible HVAC systems.
Okay.
Like a lot of them in Dallas are still on window units, right? If I buy a house with window units,
Yeah, Texas is not so good for that.
yeah, I have to put HVAC in there if I'm going to turn around and sell that house for 130 grand.
Right.
Right. And that's what I try to. Then that's how you explain it to sellers when you're wholesaling their house, right? I know that you don't have the time or the funds to put 60 grand worth of work. When they're like, whoa, 60 grand worth of work, what are you talking about? Right? Okay, well, when's the last time your roof was done? Well, I haven't had it done since. Well, for me to sell this house, the roof has to be done within the past 10 years, or it's not even going to pass inspection. So right there off the top, it cost me 25 grand.
You're saying the conversation with the owners or the wholesalers. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Or with the seller, when you're wholesaling, you're having that conversation with them.
Right.
You're not trying to devalue their house. You're just telling them the facts are. Right. And they're like, and they'll tell you, my house is worth 300 grand. Yep.
After you put some money into it.
Yeah. If it was brand new, which is just not the case right now.
Right.
And then you can tell them, like, if you were going to spend $300,000, would you not want tile in the bathroom? Would you not want that jacuzzi tub? Would you not want that stainless steel in the kitchen? Would you not want that brand new roof? Like, how would you spend $300,000? Would you spend it on your house? You'd be like, no. Right. No, you'd probably spend $200,000 on your house, wouldn't you? But
so all your real estate experience has been in Austin or in the Texas area?
Yeah, mostly in the Texas area. When it comes to wholesaling is kind of like an anywhere ballpark. Mm-hmm. Because you can almost find buyers anywhere.
Right.
Everyone wants to buy. Nobody wants to have the wholesale conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm living here in LA, and you asked in the beginning, where am I at? I'm here in Los Angeles, and
sure.
It's there's the real estate market out here. I mean, there's a lot of people who are buying and holding, but and it's and renting it out. I mean, it's a different industry. But there's just so many rules and regulations that are difficult for homeowners in terms of dealing with tenants, in terms of you can never evict somebody. There's just so many crazy things that you can't even imagine. I'll tell you just one thing really quickly. Make sure nobody can hear me right now. But there's right now because of COVID, so like evicting somebody's completely out. I think it's all over the country, right, for the most part. But so we had to, we had inspections. We just had inspections. They have every 4 years, they go through inspections where they have the city comes out and they say, hey, is everything safe? And so the tenant can actually refuse you entry, but you're still required to make the repairs. So I said, what am I supposed to do if they're refusing entry? And they said, do your best. What does that mean? And you have to give them notice. You have to, like they were like, well, maybe you can convince. There's no solution to it. Anyways, it's a different industry or whatever. But are you on
good terms? Were they your tenants?
Yeah.
Were you on good terms with them?
Well, it seems like there's some what's it called when they have a bipolar. So sometimes.
Gotcha. And they I assume they had already stopped paying rent.
So no.
Oh, okay.
They're paying. It's just
not the easiest task, but I would have probably just offered them $500 for a day of entry.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, overall, it might be better off. I hear.
Yeah, just so you know, so you don't end up spending $40,000 when you could have spent $20,000.
Right.
$500 is definitely worth that.
It's interesting. Yeah. So Los Angeles market is very different. But so you mentioned podcasts. What are some of your favorite podcasts? I mean, do you listen to motivation or you listen to educational?
Sure. A little bit of everything. Podcast, the real estate disruptors is a really good place to start. As far as like motivation, Bob Proctor.
Who's it, Bob?
Bob Proctor is like probably top of the line. He's got a book out there called "You Were Born Rich," that will literally take you step by step on how being financially free is done. He spent the last 60 years of his life figuring out how he became rich and how others became rich. Because it's like one of those things. He woke up one day and he was like, everyone had told him that you have to have a good education to be rich, or you have to be smart to be rich. And he woke up and he was like, I don't have a good education. I dropped out of high school. I'm not smart. Why am I rich and nobody else is? So he dropped everything and he spent the last 60 years of his life dedicated to exactly how you do that. But I mean, other motivation. I mean, it's just motivation. Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas? Oh yeah. He's good, man. I like that guy. Very passionate.
Grant Cardone.
Yep.
I mean, Grant Cardone's one of those people that so with my business right now, when we were starting out, we were like, how are we going to run this and everything like that. And the CEO was having, conference calls at different times of the day. And I was like, oh God, that's got to stop. And I was like, the most motivating sales team that I've ever seen was when Grant Cardone walked into his office at 8:15 and everyone was just going ape shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah. So I mean that's kind of what Grant Cardone's. Sorry, my logged into Facebook right now.
Very cool. So look, man, if people want to reach out to you, people want to find you, people want to, I'm going to find out about what some deals that, if they're interested in maybe doing a purchase down there in Austin. You deal mainly with the Dallas, Austin area, or what areas are you in usually, or mostly?
Yeah, I mean, my company's Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and then we're also in Florida as well.
Okay, Dallas, Houston, and where can they find you?
So our company is actually propertyhub.com. That's our actual property, but you can actually catch me at Future Fit Fam.
Future Fit Fam. Yeah. So tell us. I know you're working on that. Tell us in just like a few minutes about your love, your first love, and your passion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
now that we can see you. Yesterday we talked about it a little bit. But.
Yeah. I mean, the reason behind it is America obesity is a growing problem. It's never going to stop. And the worst part about it is that in this day and age, everyone wants to make money off of something. And you're absolutely right. I'm not going to start a business without the intent to make money because it would never work, right? But what I want to start do is making fitness easier, more compatible for every individual. A lot of the complaints that you get is I don't have the time, or everything hurts, or I don't know what to do and I don't know where to do it.
Right.
So every weekday, Monday through Friday, I'll be doing free workouts. You can mirror me. You can do it with me side by side. I'll be doing it every day. And then branching off from that, I have an MLM that I believe in. It's called Zalees. They do CBD supplements, and that's what fuels my business. That's what fuels everything. And these supplements right here are made to help people lose weight, stop being in pain, sleep better, all of that. So it fits in with what I'm trying to do either way. So with the free workouts, it just gives me an opportunity to get people on the CBD product that they should be on anyways. So it's really just a circle of love.
Well, man, that's amazing. So just to clarify, so the real estate portion the real estate hustle that you got going on, that they can find you at propertyhub.com. And maybe we'll do another thing sometime, kind of dig in a little bit more on your passion about the Future Fit and that thing. But but if they want to find out more information about that, or if they want to find you, they can go to futurefitfam.com.
At Future Fit Fam, you can find me on any social media.
Gotcha.
Channel. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Not so great on TikTok yet. I'm getting better at it.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, I mean, you can find me on there, and you can message me at any time.
Okay.
My number is also on those social media channels. I have my phone with me at all times. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody.
And
you want to call, let's talk.
And your workouts that you do Monday through Friday, what times are they at? And it's Texas time, right?
Yep, they'll be at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Texas time.
Monday through Friday.
They can just log on to one of your, find you on one of your social media, and they should see you live over there?
Yep, absolutely. Well, I'll be putting a Zoom link out for everyone, and I'll be spam blasting it 10 days before we actually go live for the first time. So everybody will get a chance to see it. It'll be
So
hashtagged. It'll be everywhere.
So if someone is interested in doing it, they can just reach out to you on the social media, just send you a message or something on it, on Facebook, message, just say, hey, add me to your blast, and I'm going to join you on your workout.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a Zoom link. The password will be in there. It'll be open to everybody. If it's 100 people, if it's 10,000 people, I'll find a way to get a platform big enough so everyone can
manage it. Awesome, man. And what can they expect? You're doing push-ups, jumping jacks, weights.
It's gonna be a lot of just actual free body work. I don't claim to be a trainer. I've been a trainer, but I'm not gonna claim to be a trainer. Okay, this is just me out here doing workouts.
Do what you do.
I think are gonna get people in shape. Okay?
Right.
If you want to join me with those workouts, join me with those workouts. If you don't, that's okay too.
Right.
But also in the same token of that, I'm going to be working out with personal trainers across Texas.
Okay.
And letting you know which personal trainers are the go-to personal trainers.
Cool. So meaning you're gonna check them out. You're gonna hang out with them, do some stuff with them, and then you'll be able to give a recommendation or not if you don't think that. Right.
Absolutely. If they're a bad trainer, I'll tell them to the face on camera. I'll let you know exactly.
You don't know what you're doing. Very cool. Awesome. And so then the MLM, that's basically, there's a CBD product that you are, I'm not familiar with that world, that industry really, but slightly, there's a product, a CBD product that you are affiliated with, that you are offering to the public to.
Yeah, that's correct. So it's network marketing MLM. So when you're doing a network marketing or MLM, it's very imperative, one, to choose something you believe in, right? Because that's when it becomes selling for you and yourself, right? If you're not passionate about what you're selling, it comes off as gross.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the reason I'm passionate about these supplements is because my wife has an autoimmune disease. And these supplements have worked absolutely wonderful. And I'm not gonna bullshit you. I was not about CBD. I thought it was a scam. I was like, whatever. Get out of here, right? But somebody convinced us. We tried it, and overwhelming results. And that's why I kind of wanted to build my fitness brand around this, is because it's you need to have these supplements. These supplements do something internally that it's hard to explain, and I'm not going to try to explain it here, but it has something to do with the endocannabinoid system, and it repairs from the inside out, right? So it's a really curing supplement. But it's just a supplement, so they can't make any medical claims, right?
I just want to just based on what you just said right now, just kind of related to Uncle G and everything that I've been trying to work on also is that's your story. That's an amazing story, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's I mean you obviously know something a lot about how it works internally. And I wish you much success. I think you will have it, and I see the passion that you have for it, and so I'm excited to follow you on your journey, see you on your journey, and hopefully all of your exciting endeavors, the real estate, the fitness, and the CBD and everything, connecting together.
Absolutely.
Look forward to.
I appreciate you having me on. I mean, this is exciting. I'm down to help. I don't claim to know anything, but if anybody's got a question that they ever want to ask me, I'm down to answer questions anytime. I'm always down to have these conversations. I think networking is the soul and the heart of the economy. And that, I mean, Grant Cardone talks a lot about that. Money's fake.
Right.
Money's fake. And once people start to realize that all this is a bartering system,
right,
and money is part of that bartering system, we're gonna be a lot better off.
Right.
Right. This what you did here. You bartered your time with my time.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying that I can help you in any way, but
just by being on, your knowledge.
If this 30 minutes conversation gets you 100 followers, then blessed. Right. I'm glad I was able to do that for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I appreciate
that's what
that.
it's about. It's that networking right there that eventually creates money.
Right. Definitely appreciate you, generous with your time and your knowledge. And I will post the ways to contact you wherever you're going to see this, on Facebook or wherever it's going to be. I will definitely look you up myself. I'll look you up on Instagram. I'm not so crazy active on Instagram, but I'm, looking at it a little bit more. But there's definitely a lot social media wise that I am also trying to, step up the game on. So Shawn, appreciate you coming. Appreciate you showing up again. Yeah, I wasn't sure, did we confirm? I mean, we did confirm, but I wasn't sure. I tried 2 different Zoom links. So glad we connected.
Awesome, man.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I look forward to being in touch again soon.
You do the same.
Take care, Shawn.
Thanks, Michael.